Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Latoria Q, and I have a great video for you. Now, let me go ahead and tell you my microphone, it died on me, so I will not have a microphone today. So, no, this thing is not on. But I want to talk to you today about imposter syndrome and 5 ways that you can get out of your imposter syndrome, or at least get out of your own way, because it's stopping you from being everything that your higher version, your higher self, this anticipated version of yourself, it needs you to get out of your own way. You gotta get out of your own way. And now's the time, and I want to share with you how. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to deal with imposter syndrome, and I still do from time to time. So it is something that will always be a work in progress. And here's why. Most times, imposter syndrome, it sparks in your childhood, where you learn to be either a people pleaser, or you've taken so much criticism that you've learned to criticize yourself in place of whomever that authoritative figure might have been, whether it's your mother, your father, your siblings, your teachers, or whatever, whomever. It's just somewhere you've picked up along the way to have these automatic thoughts that talk you out of your goals, out of what you want to accomplish. And that is not going to work anymore. So in case you're wondering, and you might even be saying, like, I might have imposter syndrome, but I really don't know what it is. Let me just give you some very basic, simple terms as to what imposter syndrome is. So imposter syndrome is where you don't have to, but most of us do have ambitions and goals. And you have talked yourself up as to why it would be so great to have this thing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you feel like you're faking it, you're a fraud, that this big goal and dream that you have, you can't accomplish it. So you're not even going to worry about doing it anymore because you're not going to accomplish it. You can't do it. You talk yourself out of it because you don't think you have enough adequate skills, enough intellect, enough time, enough whatever it may be that you know you have. You'll talk yourself out of that. Now, I'm going to be real with you. You're a high achiever if you experience imposter syndrome, because there's no way that you can just think of this amazing idea, this amazing goal that you have, specifically you. No one else has it but you. And then all of a sudden you're not supposed to do it. Well, then if you got the vision and you got the plan, who else is supposed to do it besides you? Imposter syndrome keeps you from accomplishing your goals and your dreams. And honestly, a lot of high-powered CEOs and scientists and celebrities even, people deal with imposter syndrome, but they find a way out of it. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about. So 5 ways to get out of the imposter syndrome, or at least the automatic thoughts of it. First thing first, you need to recognize your wins. Along the way, you've had some small wins or even big wins that have put you in a position for you to think even, to believe even, that you can do something, whatever it may be. But what has happened is you've diminished these small wins into nothingness. And so you can't rely on them now for them to give you the support that you need to reinforce why you really can do something. So first thing first, you are going to need to rely on those wins. Go back to those wins. If it was when you learned a computer program, when you learned to do anything, when you've learned to do whatever skill or whatever supporting role that is needed to complete your goal or to complete that vision, start relying on those small wins. Let me give you an example. So I remember there was a point where I really wanted this job. I was working at this job and I wanted to get a promotion. But in order to get this promotion, you had to know Excel. You know, everybody knows the spreadsheets, right? Okay. So I had to know Excel to get into this position. Well, when I went to apply, I had no clue what Excel was. If that tells you how long ago this was. But I had no clue what Excel was. I had no clue about formulas or anything like that. So anyway, I applied for the job. I failed the Excel test and I was just so crushed, right? However, I had someone teach me along the way how to do Excel. So I had another job with another company come up, and I really, really wanted this job because they were paying so much. And so Excel was the most critical program that you needed to know in order to get this job. And I had worked on being proficient in Excel. So I talked myself out of applying for the job until my manager was like, hey, look, I normally don't tell people to go apply for a different job, especially when they're good at what they do, but you're capable. You have the ability to do it. So then I had to go back and remind myself, like, I learned something. I know more than I know from the first one to now. I've gained new tools. I've been in position with management or with someone who was willing to share with me information. So I had to start reminding myself of my wins, because otherwise I would have talked myself out of it. And let me tell you, taking on that job, I got the job, but taking on that job changed everything for me. When I say everything, I no longer do anything in that industry anymore, but it built enough confidence in me to get to where I'm at today. So don't run from things. Just remind yourself you've done this before and you can do it again. 2, you're going to have to embrace your imperfections. You will never be perfect. But again, like I said in the beginning, most times our imposter syndrome comes from our childhood PTSD or our childhood memories, where we were wanting to please someone and they either were critical of us or it just didn't land the way that we thought it would land. And so we didn't get the validation that we thought we were going to get. And so we become these chasers of making other people happy. So if we're not doing it to please someone else, then we don't believe that we're either able to do it or capable to do it or worthy of doing it. And so we use this heavy hand of criticism and we talk ourselves out of whatever it is that we want to accomplish. So when we look at ourselves through the lenses of someone else, we will see our imperfections. We will see what we are missing or what we're lacking, because we are comparing ourselves to what we think someone else is seeing or wanting or needing to feel. When in all actuality, if it's your purpose, if it's your mission, if it's your dedicated assignment, whatever it is, if you are needing to complete your goal and it's getting you to the next step, there is nothing that you're going to be able to do to stop yourself, but you just may default and slow yourself down. So what I'm going to tell to you right now is very, very important, okay? You're going to have to remind yourself that you are so worthy, and you remind yourself that you're worthy by embracing who you are now, imperfection and all, flaws and all. You are perfect the way that you are right now, and you deserve to accomplish your goals. 3rd thing, you're going to have to big up. You're going to have to reinforce your expertise. Here's why. If you keep reminding yourself of all the things that you've learned along the way, you'll keep reminding yourself that you're able to learn. You won't self-sabotage because you can't or won't believe that you can absorb new information and apply it. So in order for you to get out of imposter syndrome, always remind yourself that you're able to learn, that you're able to utilize your time well, that you have the ability to give effort, and you're able to see your efforts be executed. Remind yourself of your expertise. Remind yourself of those high, valuable quality skills that you need to accomplish your goal, to accomplish that task. You are able to do whatever you set your mind out to do because you have the evidence to prove it. It's your skills, it's your expertise, it's your relationships, it's your resume. So believe in that and rely on that, because sometimes you do need it to remind yourself of who you really are. Yeah, it's you. You that chick, you that man, whatever it may be. Don't forget that though. Number 4, the 4th thing that you're going to need to get out of the imposter syndrome. Let me turn around on this one. All right, hun. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you're going to have to get rid of those friends. I said it. Have you ever heard that statement that you are the sum total of your 5 friends, of your 5 closest friends? The things that they complain about, the things that they struggle with, their issues. 9 times out of 10, it's somewhere along the line your issue too. Those friends. So if you're around friends who are always limiting themselves, always talking about how they can't do something, why they won't do something, how they'll never see something, how they'll never be something, You are absorbing that. You're accepting that into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is saying, yep, we're in agreement with them. We're in agreement with them. Why? Because you are still sitting there, because you're still listening, because you're still absorbing that information. And your body language is confirming to them, yep, you're right. We won't ever have it. So I used to have a friend. She always talked down on herself. And so there was a time where they offered her a management position. They were like, you are so talented at what you do. You are so skilled. And we believe that we could really use you in this department. And she says, no. And I said to her, I said, well, girl, why did you say no? Like, you're really good at your job. Why would you turn it down? And she says, because I don't believe in myself. I don't want to have the pressure to be something I'm not. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're doing the same job already. You're already doing the job. They're telling you you're very skilled at this thing, and they can pay you to do what you're already doing. And she says, no, I don't want to deal with the paperwork and the pressure for the job that you're already doing. Again, did we miss something? Long story short, I'm not going to say she's not my friend, but we're not as close anymore. But it was because that was like the downhill for us. When I realized that people talking down on themselves can negatively affect me as well, I removed myself from situations and people where it was just no longer good for my spirit. And you really are going to have to remove yourself from people and places and things that remind you of your old self, that old version of yourself, which was the one that always talked yourself out of doing things, always talked yourself out of your accomplishments. When people tell you, well done, good job, you always say, oh no, it was nothing. No, don't say thank you to me. And oh no, you are one of those people who are pushing away your blessings. And I had to get away from people like that, because what I learned was that humility, it's some things will make you humble. That's good. But to be humiliated because you keep sabotaging yourself is not the business. So I'm just telling you, I'm not telling you to change yourself, but what I'm telling you is that you may need to start limiting your time or limiting your conversations with people who are not going places and with people who have no goals and ambition, because they will talk you out of yours. And then when you go do it, despite what they've said, they got things to say. They're not haters. They're just not understanding that you can overcome a circumstance and you can also overcome a mindset. The other part of that is they've talked themselves out of doing things. So they're always going to look at what you're doing as better than them. And so you're going to get that energy of you're better than us. And there's no need for you to think that you're better than your friends. You want to go places with people who are celebrating their own success and themselves, because you need to be celebrating your success and yourself. So be mindful of who you keep in your environment, because everybody isn't supposed to be there. Okay, the last thing, because baby, we getting there, okay? We cleaning out these closets, we getting up under these rugs, and we are letting go of the things that no longer serve us, right? Number 5, start small. It's that simple. What, you thought I was gonna say something crazy? Or you thought I was gonna say something a little more profound? Start small. Oftentimes, as an imposter, you have the end goal in mind. You see the end vision, but the first steps are usually really, really small and require a lot of detail and require a lot of attention and focus. And that's the hard part. It's not going to be free-flowing and effortless like the end. It's the grunt work. It's the due diligence. It's the intentional going to do research. You are going to have to get out of your comfort zone when you're wanting to change, when you're wanting to grow, when you're wanting to be something. You are going to have to start, though, at the first step. And that usually is work. And it's usually the not so fun, small, remedial task. So get okay with doing the work, and get okay with doing the small stuff first. Small wins turn into big wins. But guess what? Big minds can't process all of it all at the same time. You're going to have to go into small, digestible, functional pieces. And so I'm telling you now, break those big chunks down into small habits and small wins, and you won't feel so overwhelmed. You won't feel like a fake. You won't feel like a fraud, because those small tasks, you were able to accomplish them and accomplish them well, and you're able to keep going. You're not feeling the burnout. You're not feeling the sensation of, am I really doing the right thing at the right time? You're going to feel like you are doing the right thing at the right time, because it's always going to work out for you, because it's small increments at a time. It's small pieces. So what did I tell you? We're going to go back through it, okay? 1, you need to recognize your wins. 2, embrace your imperfections. 3, reaffirm your expertise. 4, get away from them impostering friends. 5, start with the small thing first. You don't have to be overwhelmed, and you can just put your skills to priority. Do what you do best first. All right, so now that we've talked about the imposter syndrome and getting out of our own way, I'm always going to talk about being intentional. Being intentional means you are putting the tone and you are putting the order to your day so that you do not falter and you do not just fall off and don't accomplish anything. And then you start beating yourself up and then you still don't accomplish anything. So what I'm going to tell you is you can go to my Stan store, stan.store/in-my-digital-bag, and you can book a one-on-one coaching call with me. Now, as of right now, my coaching cost is really, really low because it's an introductory price. You know, many people have asked, when am I going to start coaching? When am I going to start consulting? And I was like, no, I'm okay. But then I realized the more people that ask, probably the more I need to really be doing it. So I've jumped out there and I put it up. And so I will work with you. I am a former trauma specialist. I'm a former facilities director and emergency shelter worker, I guess is what the word is. But I've always worked with people who have struggles or issues or challenges, and they're wanting to get out of their way. And I have acquired the tools and techniques that not only helped me get out of my way, but helped a lot of people. And when I say a lot of people, I've been doing this for like the last 2.5 decades. So I've helped a lot of people. So even if you think that I have never came across you and I probably won't be able to help you, let's just chat. Drop a comment below. Let's just connect. And if I can help you, I'd love to. If I can't, I'll show you really where to go because I'm resourceful like that. But anyway, go ahead and connect with me because it is time for you to start accomplishing your goals. There is this massive shift going on in the world where those of us who have been given a vision and been given assignments, it's time for us to complete them. And we are needing each other to do our part. We're needing each other to be turned on frequency-wise, where when I come in contact with you and you come in contact with me, we see each other's light because we are on our purpose. We are on our walk together. So if you are having struggle to get your lights on, if you are having struggles getting out of your own way, if you're dealing with depression or any type of overwhelming sensations and you're a business owner or you're a student or whatever it is, you're just a mom that wants to do her best. Whatever it is, feel free to reach out to me because I'm here to help, okay? I'm here to be a vessel and resourceful. So please help me be the best version of myself. Put me to work. So anyway, I just wanted to drop this video with you. I hope that this content is valuable. If it is, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe and that notification bell for the next time I drop a video. So that is it for today, y'all. I'm so glad I got through this. This feels good. All right. Talk to you later. Bye, baby.